This is the first lesson of your mini grammar unit. This unit is self-paced. That means you are going to watch each of the videos, determine how well you understand, and choose your own learning activities. Then, at the end of each lesson, you'll take a quiz on Moodle. There are 4 learning targets. Here's the lesson for learning target 1. Your learning target is, I can show my understanding of the parts of speech by sorting words into groups of nouns, adjectives, and verbs. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to look at a word and determine if it's a noun, an adjective, or a verb. First, let's talk about nouns. You probably remember nouns as being people, places, or things. These are things that you can actually see or touch. But nouns can also be ideas, which we'll talk about later. First, let's talk about people. People like mom, dad, teacher, doctor, and hero are all nouns. If you look around the room, you can see some more nouns. Girl, boy, friend. All of these names for people are considered nouns. Nouns can also be places, like school, city, park, or where you are right now. Classroom is a noun. Hallway is a noun. Media center. Nouns are also things, like animal, cereal, toy. What's in your hand right now, an iPad or a computer, these are all considered nouns. Finally, nouns can also be ideas. These ones are a little bit harder because you can't really see or feel them. They're called abstract nouns. Words like love, kindness, anger, or hope. These words for ideas are also nouns. Proper nouns are the important and specific names of these everyday common nouns. For example, a specific name or type of chocolate would be a Snickers candy bar. Notice that proper nouns all have capital letters. Just like in your name, you are an important and specific kind of person, so your name has a capital letters. All proper nouns have a capital letter. Look at the example, toy. Toy is a noun, but a specific or important name of a toy would be Barbie, and we capitalize Barbie because it gives a name to a kind of noun. How about movie? Movie is a common noun, but if you name a specific movie, like Spider-Man, this is considered a proper noun, and all proper nouns get capital letters. Finally, this one is probably one you're most familiar with because it's a name just like your name, Justin Bieber. He is the specific name of a singer, and so he is considered a proper noun. Pronouns are another type of noun. Pronouns take the place of a common noun. Think of them like a substitute. Your teacher is Mrs. Swerk, but when she's not there, you still need to have a teacher, so you have a substitute teacher. Look at this. This is a cat. In the sentence, the cat rolls on the floor, we could put in the pronoun it. This word it can take the place of the cat, and the sentence will still make sense. It rolls on the floor. The word it is a pronoun. It took the place of the noun cat. Let's look at this. We're talking about students. Students is the noun. Instead of students, we could say they. When we put in the pronoun they, the sentence still makes sense. They work hard. Here's Dora the Explorer. Dora is our noun. In fact, it's a proper noun. It's the name of a person. Instead of Dora, we could say she. She waves to her friend. Here's Superman. Here's another proper noun. Instead of Superman, we could say he. He flies away. He is the pronoun. Here's another list of pronouns. I, we, you, she, he, they, or it. These are all words that can take the place of nouns. We use pronouns, especially in our writing, so we don't say the same name over and over and over. For example, if I said, Mrs. Swerk is your teacher. Mrs. Swerk teaches language arts. Mrs. Swerk is excited for this lesson. That gets kind of old to hear you keep saying Mrs. Swerk over and over. So instead, we can use the word she. Mrs. Swerk is a teacher. She is excited for this lesson. Next, we're talking about adjectives. Adjectives are describing words. Adjectives describe nouns, people, places, and things. They can describe nouns by telling how many there are or what kind. It talks about the quality, the shape of the noun, the size of the noun, or the color of the noun. These are just some. Let's look at, from the movie Frozen, this girl. We're going to describe this girl using some adjectives. We could say, how many girls? Well, just one girl. The word one is an adjective because it describes how many, or this girl. We could talk about the shape. This is a thin girl. The word thin describes the girl. We could talk about the size. She's a tall girl. And now let's talk about her dress. Okay, what color is her dress? It's a blue dress. These words in purple here are adjectives. They describe nouns. Finally, let's talk verbs. You're probably most familiar with action verbs. Action verbs show the action that a person, place, thing, or idea does. For example, Mrs. Swerk runs around the classroom. Mrs. Swerk is our main noun, and the word runs is the action verb. It tells what Mrs. Swerk does. Here's another one. The crisp leaves fall from the tree. Leaves is our main noun, and the word fall tells what they do. What do the leaves do? They fall. So fall shows the action. There are also some verbs called state of being verbs. State of being verbs do not show any action. These words are is, am, was, were, and are. I like to remember them by thinking of the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat. It goes something like this. Is, am, was, were, are. These are state of being verbs. Look at this sentence. Mrs. Swerk is a teacher. There's no action. It doesn't say what Mrs. Swerk does, but we need this verb is right here to link Mrs. Swerk to being a teacher. Look at the next sentence. The students are smart. There's no action that the students are doing, but we need this verb are to link students to being smart. The students are. You try. I want you to look at each of these words. We're going to go in the column here, column by column. Determine if it's a noun, verb, or adjective. If I'm moving too quickly for you, hit pause or stop on your video so that you can respond, and hit play when you're ready to hear the answer. Let's start with girl. Answer or think to yourself, is girl a noun, a verb, or an adjective? If you said noun, you are correct. This is a person. A girl is a person, so it's a noun. Let's look at laugh. Ha ha ha. Is that a noun, a verb, or an adjective? If you said verb, you're correct. This shows an action that a noun could do. For example, the girl laughs. Laughs is an action, so it's a verb. Let's look at the word purple. Is it a noun, a person, place, or thing, or idea? A verb, a word that shows action or tells what something is? Or is it an adjective, a describing word? Purple is an adjective. Mrs. Swerk is a noun. If you said proper noun, you're even more correct because it gives the name of a person. See the capital letters? Try is. Is a verb. Try short. Short is an adjective. It describes a noun, like girl, the short girl. Try the word she. She is a noun. If you said pronoun, you're even more correct. The word she could take the place of any of this noun. Instead of saying the girl laughed, you could say she laughed. So she is a pronoun. Try 5. Is it a noun, a verb, or an adjective? If you said adjective, you're correct. This describes how many of something. And finally, try the word feel. If you said verb, you're correct. Now try it with a sentence. The Moodle quiz will ask you to identify parts of speech in a sentence. Look at these sentences and determine which of these words are nouns: people, places, things, or ideas. My mom and I run to French Park to play the best game. It is baseball. Hit pause if you're not ready to see the answers yet. The nouns in these sentences are mom, I, French Park, game, and baseball. Now think which of these words are verbs. Which words show an action or say what something is? Hit pause if you're not ready to see the answer. The verbs in these sentences are run, that's an action, and play. Is also a verb. We called them the state of being verbs. And last, see if you can find the adjective. The word best is an adjective because it describes the game. Take a look at your target sheet, your learning plan, and determine, does this make any sense to you? If not, you're going to work with me today. If you think that you're getting it but need some more practice, you're going to do these activities on the Moodle page. You can check them off on your learning plan once you're done. If you feel completely confident and this seems more like review to you, do these activities, but be sure to still take that Moodle quiz.